Okay, so last week for the performance, we had a little miscommunication. And we had two versions of music playing. One was a little faster than the other, and I couldn't figure out why the kids, all of a sudden, they worked so hard for this music, and they were just confused. What's happening? So Mokes, I think, was kind enough to give us another chance to play one song, one music, and to redo it. So you guys worked hard. Okay, hold the microphone between each of you. Okay? Let me get the music started. It's okay, I got it.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms and Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts and Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians.
Keep going. Keep going. She hit the key. Keep going.
Corinthians.
Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st and 2nd John, 3rd John, Jude and Revelation.
Great job. All right, thank you all. Okay, while I'm talking, pass around an orange. There's only 10. Okay? You're going to give them back, and then you can eat them for lunch later, okay? So I just want 10 people holding an orange real quick. Okay? You know I'm going to volunteer you if you have an orange, right? So, okay. Everyone got one? You all 10? Okay. So how are ways that we can honor God? How can we show our dedication, our love, our respect, our honor? What are things that we can do to show that to God? Everyone's quiet now. No one with the orange wants to talk. Okay. So we can obviously come to church, right? We can read scripture, we can study the Bible, we can help with other people, right? But we can tithe. And that's the scripture talks about your first fruits and tithing. Okay? So back in the day, you guys remember how Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, right? And the Lord promised them what? Land. Fruitful land, basically. Land of milk and honey, right? Okay? So now we come to this point in today's scripture where the Lord has blessed them and followed through on His promise, as always, and said, here's your land. But you have to do what?
Serve God.
Well, in serving God, yeah. You give your first fruits, your tithe. How much is tithing? How much are we supposed to give out of whatever we make? Whether it's we make 10 oranges or we make $10,000, whatever. What percentage are we supposed to give to the Lord? I think I heard a couple here. 10%, right? So everyone with an orange, I want you to stand up. Okay? Everyone with an orange, just stand up. Okay? So we got 10 oranges, right? Okay? No. Okay, so we got 10. Until people are dropping them. 10 oranges. So if we're supposed to give 10%, let's pretend I owned an orange farm and I got 10 oranges off my tree. I have to give 10% to the Lord. How many is that? 1. 10% is 1 of the 10, right? So who wants to go sit next to Moksana? We're going to pretend like that. We just gave that one to the church. I need one on go, Baron. Okay, sit next to Moksana. So we just gave 10% to the church, right? Now we did our tithe, right? So what are we going to do with the other 9? Okay? So probably, let's say, shopping. I think it was my wife, unfortunately. So, let's say, because obviously we gotta live, right? You gotta pay maybe rent or your house payment, car, food, clothing. We gotta pay for kids' stuff for school, pencils, books, all that stuff, right? So I need 5 more people. Here, how about the 4 in the back? Does he have an orange? Okay, the 4 of you in the back, and Brianna, go ahead and sit down. So let's just say those 5 oranges, 50%, right? 5 out of 10, 50%. Go ahead and sit down. So, Cameron, you can sit down too. So those 50%, say go to supporting our living. We gotta pay, like I said, the bills and stuff, okay? So now we're left with how much?
4.
With 4, yeah, there should be 4. I know Bailey's kind of small up here. She's got an orange. So we're left with 40% of what we made. So maybe we save some of that, right? Maybe we say 2 of those, let's save. So let's pretend Bailey's sitting down, and let's see, Brianna sitting. Where's the other? Okay, so we got 2 left. So Hannah and Daniel are standing up. So we've saved with 20% of that. Maybe we put back for our retirement, or to go on vacation, or something to do with family. Okay? Now another 20% left. What can we do with that? Yeah, shopping. Shopping keeps coming up. I guess it's that season. But we can sell it, yeah. Part of business. But this is a thing we can do called offering. So your first 10% goes to the Lord, right? Free and clear. Right as soon as we get it, boom, 10% goes to the Lord. To show our respect, honor, love, dedication to Him. Okay, that's part of how we do that. Now we have 20% left, so maybe we say, hey, there's a local group that does some really good things for the community, or maybe the church is sponsoring some big mission, or some great purpose, and you want to support that. We can give to the church or charitable groups like that organize these type of activities as an offering. Okay? So we can do above and beyond our tithe, but at a minimum, we should always do our 10% tithe. And then we plan correctly for our lives. Priorities, taking care of our family and stuff, and the things we need. Whatever extra we have, now we can say, hey, the church is doing a special mission. I know in the past we raised money to get a van, I think several years ago. We've done things to get like the parking lot paved. We need to paint the outside of the building and stuff like that. We can offer above our tithe as offering for special purpose type things for the greater good of our church community or community in general. Okay? So that's what we talk about in today's scripture is your first fruits. Especially back then, a lot of people were farmers, and so that's what they raised, a lot of crops. So 10% of their food and a lot of things they produced, livestock, fruits, whatever, went to the church, they took it to the temple, to the altar, and gave it to the pastor. All right? So if you pass the fruits back in, the oranges back in to soon, to put back in the bag, and then we'll have them downstairs if you guys want to eat them later. But so remember, tithe the first 10%. You gotta have something to live on. Unfortunately, it's not a cheap living around Seattle. And then we got, as you save some, and then you got some that you can do offering with for other special purposes, okay? So thank you all very much. And I'm gonna turn our books in for keto.